Hi. Okay, so last night I read chapter 5 to start off because basically I was thinking of finishing week 4 stuff because I never finished it. But honestly, I think that had dragged out for so long that I just couldn't be asked. There was an actual reason. Let me just check. I'm pretty sure it's one of the biggest things was the reading deprivation thing. Obviously, I did that. Dude, I don't know. I don't really like these tasks. Describe your ideal environment: town, country, swank, cozy. One paragraph, one image drawn or clipped that conveys it, and then you have to place it near your working area, basically. Describe yourself at 80. What did you do after 50 that you enjoyed? And be very specific. Same thing as remember yourself at 8. What did you like to do? What were your favorite things? Now write a letter from you at 8 to you at your current age. Environment. Look at your house. Is there any room that you could make into a secret private space for yourself? No, I can't. The thing is with the remember yourself at 8. I don't remember myself at 8 at all. Like, I don't remember anything. It just seems pointless, basically. And describing yourself at 80, I couldn't really envision it. Obviously, I know there's a reason why they're telling you to do these things, but I just thought an extended art estate, plan a small vacation for yourself. Around the time I was actually doing this, I literally went on a holiday for myself, so like that was kind of done there. Open your closet, throw out or hand on or donate one low self-worth outfit. Like I said into my, I need to clean up there, it looks a bit messy. And there, what the heck, dude. But like I said in the last episode, the last like video I did, I had a super deep clear out of all my clothes just without having seen this. I probably did see this, but I forgot about it. But yeah, so I cleared out like most, if not all, of my like low self-worth things. And I did that without being told to. So I just thought, you know what? Screw it. Let's just start new, start fresh. So we're on week 5 and it's recovering a sense of possibility. There was a lot of good things that I read on this. I just need to remind myself. I don't know why, but I found that the chapter that I read yesterday was very fitting for like how I'm feeling in life just generally now anyway. So it was like quite good timing, alhamdulillah. So the first like part basically talks about limits and is mainly just talking about the limits you put on yourself, but not only that, but the limits you put on God. Obviously this is like written in the from the perspective of Christian faith, but I'm relating it obviously to Islam, and I do think again it helps me in my own way. So it starts off by saying, one of the chief barriers to accepting God's generosity is our limited notion of what we are in fact able to accomplish. We may tune into the voice of the Creator within, hear a message, and then discount it as crazy or impossible. On the one hand, we take ourselves very seriously and don't want to look like idiots pursuing some patently grandiose scheme. On the other hand, we don't take ourselves or God seriously enough, and so we define as grandiose many schemes that, with God's help, may fall well within our grasp. Most of us never consider how powerful the Creator really is. We decide how powerful God is to us or for us, and we unconsciously set a limit on how much God can give us or help us. We are stingy with ourselves, and if we receive a gift beyond our imagining, we often send it back. I do think that rings true generally anyway, but especially for me. Hold on, I should put my laptop in charge. I feel like she's going to die. What else? I've been like, in my own learning of Islam, I'm learning more and more about the whole concept of tying your camel. So for those that don't know what that means, which I'm assuming everyone knows because my best friend already knows this, because I've told her. And then obviously the rest of my family are Muslim too, so they'll probably know the facts anyway. But if there's anyone else, I'll just tell you anyway. So it's a story about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and basically, I think it's like a traveler or some guy with a camel was with him, and they were about to like set up shop, like stop the day and go to sleep. And he obviously had the camel with him, and he didn't. His thing is that he trusts Allah so much that he wouldn't tie the camel, like as a form of protection, and to like keep the camel safe and not let it run away and things like that. Um, and he told that to Prophet Muhammad, and Muhammad turned around and said, "No, tie your camel first, then put your faith in Allah." And I think it's just the story is just supposed to tell you like you can't just leave everything to Allah. Of course, have your trust in Allah, but there's an element of like free will and responsibility on you to do things as well. Like you can't just like pray for a certain situation to just fall into your lap. It may take you having to do a certain step in order for that opportunity to come to you. That makes sense. So it's still coming to you, but you have to take that step as well. So yeah, that whole thing kind of just like it reminded me of what they've written in the book, where they said, what did they say? They said, in other words, pray to catch the bus, then run as fast as you can. So you still have to do the running. You can't just pray that the bus is going to stop and you slowly walk to it, or you don't walk at all and the bus reverses or something, you know? Like, you have to do at least your part and put your faith in Allah as well, or God. For this to happen, first of all, we must believe that we are allowed to catch the bus, which I think obviously it's just an analogy, but I think I do struggle with that sometimes. We come to recognize that God is unlimited in supply and that everyone has equal access. And then this begins to clear up guilt about having or getting too much. Since everyone can draw on the universal supply, we deprive no one with our abundance. If we learn to think of receiving God's good as being an act of worship, cooperating with God's plan to manifest goodness in our lives, we can begin to let go of having to sabotage ourselves. I thought that was quite thought-provoking. One reason we are miserly with ourselves is scarcity thinking. We don't want our luck to run out. We don't want to overspend our spiritual abundance, but again, we're limiting the flow of God and the flow of God's goodness and His ability to give so much, and it is unlimited, but we put those limits on. Then they just went into like stories. I remember speaking about this like another time. They bring up stories of like Kara, a writer, this happened to her, and then this happened to her, and then this happened to her. But I don't know if that's like an actual like thing, or like if it's accurate, or if it's just a story that the writer's just made up just to like get the message through, basically. So yeah, it's just like very not so much eye-opening, because I kind of knew that stuff anyway, but it was more just good timing to hear it again, for me at least. As a Hollywood screenwriter, I had many rueful conversations with other screenwriters about the fact that while our agents were often invaluable, we seemed to get an awful lot of breaks from places like my next door neighbor, my dentist brother, or somebody my wife went to college with. But those breaks are God the source in action. So it's like, and that relates a lot to Islamic teaching too, because if you have opportunities from other people, it's not that you got lucky or things like that. It's Allah through them. Allah sent them. So those breaks are from God, basically. The next bit says, finding the river. For 4 weeks now, we have been excavating our consciousness. Oh, not for me. Dependence on the Creator within is really freedom from all other dependencies. Paradoxically, it is also the only route to real intimacy with other human beings. Freed from our terrible fears of abandonment, we are able to live with more spontaneity. Freed from our constant demands for more and more reassurance, our fellows are able to love us back without feeling so burdened. As we have listened to our artist child within, still makes you cringe, It has begun to feel more and more safe. Feeling safe, it speaks a little louder. Even on our worst days, a small positive voice says, you could still do this, or it might be fun to do that. Most of us find that as we work with the morning pages, we are rendered less rigid than we were, which I think has actually just been happening for me anyways without the morning pages recently. So obviously, since I've not been doing it. As we come to trust and love our internal guide, we lose our fear of intimacy because we no longer confuse our intimate others with the higher power that we are coming to know. In short, we are learning to give up idolatry, which is the worshipful dependency on any person, place, or thing. Instead, we place our dependency on the source itself, which is literally to a T Islam. The source meets our needs through people, places, and things. This concept is a very hard one for most of us to really credit. We tend to believe we must go out and shake a few trees to make things happen. I would not deny shaking a few trees is good for us. In fact, I believe that it is necessary. It's called doing the footwork. But I want to say, however, that while the footwork is necessary, I have seldom seen it pay off in a linear fashion. It seems to work more like we shake the apple tree and the universe, or Allah, delivers oranges. Time and again, I have seen a recovering creative do the footwork of becoming internally clear and focused about dreams and delights, take a few outward steps in the direction of the dream, only to have the universe fling open an unsuspected door. One of the central tasks of creative recovery is learning to accept this generosity. And I was deep in it yesterday. That's literally what happened with me in music. Because I started the Artist Way book with the intention of creating more and being able to like create a project and really delve into like the type of music that I want to create. That's not what happened. Like, I'm now like moving on in a completely different direction. Not only have I like stopped making the music, but I've removed it all and I've cut that version of myself from who I want to be now. So that's crazy. Literally, this is why I'm saying, like, when I was reading this, I was like, oh crap, like that's literally what's happened to me. So yeah. So the next part was talking about the virtue trap. So an artist must have downtime, time to do nothing. Defending our right to such time takes courage, conviction, and resiliency. Such time, space, and quiet will strike our family and friends as withdrawal from them, but it is, basically. And I relate to that a lot. It's saying, for an artist, withdrawal is necessary. Without it, the artist in us feels vexed, angry, and out of sorts. If such deprivation continues, our artist becomes sullen, depressed, and hostile. We eventually become like cornered animals, snarling at our family and friends to leave us alone and stop making unreasonable demands. Unfortunately, when I was reading this, all I could think of was my baby sister, because I can be quite peaked to her sometimes, like when I'm in that kind of phase or in that mood. So where else? I feel a bit bad, but yeah, if anything, it's just highlighting more like it's not just me. We are the ones making unreasonable demands. We expect our artist to be able to function without giving it what it needs to do so. An artist requires the upkeep of creative solitude. An artist requires the healing of time alone. Without this period of recharging, our artist becomes depleted. Obviously, I know this is in the context of creating whatever their craft is, but I think even just generally in day-to-day life, of course, I know that your artistry and your creativity is in your day-to-day life, but I just mean with me, my creativity, as much as it's a part of me, I'm just looking at like the other aspects in my life, so other things that I enjoy doing. But I don't know if I need to be started, because I think what I do is I compartmentalize everything. So I think that my my creativity is one part, and then I don't know, gym is another part, job is another part, family is another part, Islam is another part. But I think I'm looking at it in the wrong way, because I think creativity should be the umbrella and like everything's underneath that. But anyway, I just mean in general life, I need time alone, because she's overwhelmed, she's overstimulated, she's tired, and she never feels like she's doing enough, basically. So this whole thing is basically just saying we are caught in a virtue trap, or in the virtue trap. For many creators, the belief that they must be nice and worry about what will happen with their friends, family, and mate if they dare to do what they really want to constitutes a powerful reason for non-action. And I think because they move on to like examples of things that people would do to prioritize their friends and family, I used to do that a lot. I mean, I still do it every now and then now, but like I'm a lot more conscious of what I'm doing, and I have to keep questioning myself and be like, am I doing too much? Like, is this actually my responsibility to do it? And I know Islam teaches kindness, and that every goodness you do is through Allah, or Allah, yeah, it's through Allah, and that you'll be rewarded for your goodness. But I also do think, again, this kind of is where free will can come in, that whole talk about tying your camel, because I think some people aren't appreciative of your effort, and they can take advantage of that. And then if that's at your own expense, and it's just you like basically draining your battery and like constantly giving out to everybody else, and is at your own expense, I just don't think that's fair. And it's not a sustainable way to live. And I think that's what I was doing growing up, and that's also why I've almost lost my, not lost because I never had it, but like I've realized I don't really know myself very well. I don't know what I want out of life. I don't know what is good for me, and I don't know what I need, basically. That's how I was like a few years ago. So I had a bit of a moment. So that's why I'm like, I've really been trying to focus on just understanding myself more. And I also think that is important going into a marriage, for example. If I do end up getting married, inshallah, like I need to know myself enough to then be able to give somebody myself as well, and be there for them too. So otherwise I'm just like projecting this fake person that someone is okay hanging around with because she does a lot for me, you know. But I don't think that's fair. Like I'd want someone to do a lot for me too, but not at each other's expense. It's more of just helping each other and growing with them, and like sharing a life and building a life together, basically. So you have to be yourself in order for somebody to really truly know you. But if you don't know what you are, or like if you don't know yourself well enough yet, how are you supposed to be that person for another one? But yeah, no, like alhamdulillah, like I said, I'm doing a lot better now, and I'm learning a lot more about myself. And I do think I owe that to being more intentional with my alone time. Therapy really helped. I did that for a little bit, and forcing myself to have uncomfortable conversations or uncomfortable realizations, or like, because you know, naturally you might end up like avoiding certain topics in your head, or like whatever it might be. I do think me doing the TV show thing and watching it all the time, there's an element of like not wanting to be thinking and left alone thinking, because you don't want to think about what is actually in your head, because you just don't want to face facts. I don't think that's all the time, because I genuinely do find it like time efficient, and what else am I gonna do, you know? But sometimes, like, I don't do it all the time. Okay, I will brush my teeth, and I don't know, think about other things. Or I'm quite bad though, because sometimes I will make up conversations, like as if I'm talking to somebody in person, and I'll literally just have a conversation with them, even though they're not even there. Or like an argument with someone. I don't know. Honestly, I'm a bit like, I'm not there. But yeah, I don't know. I'd find things to like occupy my time. And to be honest, I overthink so much that even when I'm watching things, I'm still thinking about it anyway. So I can't say that that's the TV show thing is like the sole reason why no, sorry, I can't say that. To avoid thinking is why I do the TV show stuff. Anyway, speaking of TV shows, I started the 100 the other day, and at first I was a little bit like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, the acting didn't seem great, and I don't know. I always get a bit iffy when I start new shows because I'm always worried I'm gonna end up like not liking it. But then also it's fine if you don't like it, so I don't know why I get worried, but whatever. And then the thing that kept me going, that kept me like watching it, was there's so many plot twists, like so many. So it's cool. I like it now. I think I'm on the second season, so yeah, it's good. I recommend it. And yeah, so I do need to stop like rewatching stuff that I've already seen. I want to like learn more, not learn more, but like watch more different things. And I also just want to like I obviously like learning, so I need to watch more of a range of things too. But my problem is I have a whole list of things that I would like to watch, but then I get overwhelmed with what ones to watch, and I'm like, I don't know where to start, and then I regress to stuff that I've already watched because I know I've watched it, it's good. And then I forget about it for a bit, and I'm like, oh wait, oh no, once I finish a TV show, I'm like, okay, now I will start a new show, or now I'll start watching these movies or whatever, and the cycle repeats. So let's see how that goes. I need to I don't know, I just need to be, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I'm not spiraling, I'm yapping. I'm actually going to the gym in a minute, but I just thought I would do this first. But my cousin painted this jumper for me. I'm going really off topic now, so it's a Zenitsu one because she knows that Zenitsu is my favorite. You can't really see it properly, but it says, if you muster one, that's cause for celebration, which I think's like a nice what's it called, quote. Yeah, look what she did. How cool. She said that is her favourite one she's ever painted. And she gave it to me. But yeah. Oh my god, the movie was so good. Like, so good. I really did think, because I haven't read the comics, so I just assumed that arc would finish in this movie and he'd get killed at the end. There's 2 more flipping movies to come out, and that's not going to be done for another 4 years. I went to the cafe yesterday with one of my cousins, and we were just chatting about it all, and we're like, damn, it's literally going to be 2029 by the time this arc finishes. I was like, damn, I would have like done this by then. Hopefully I would have done this and this and this and this and this. And then we were just like talking about what would life be like in 4 years time for us, or like where would we envision our lives being. Of course we never really know, but where would we like our life to be, basically. That was a nice conversation, to be fair. But yeah, the movie was really good. The fight scenes were flipping fantastic. But listen, if anyone knows me, I have been rooting for Zenitsu since the first season. He has always been my favorite. I will literally show you because all of my anytime I wanted like merch or stuff that is Zenitsu themed, I could never find it anywhere, and I'd always complain to my friends and my family because I just can't find it. So slowly but surely my friends and my family have been like giving me Zenitsu stuff, but that's the only Demon Slayer stuff that I have. Literally, I've got this, I've got, oh hold on, the stand came off. I've got, oh, it came off again, dude. Got this one, I love it. I'll put it, you can't even see it. There you go. Can you see it? Not really. There we go. Well, guys, I'm really going off topic right now. Sorry. I think this is gonna... Oh my gosh. I think this is going to be a long video. Is it that way instead? No, it can't be. Oh, okay. Maybe it is. I haven't finished. I've also got this one. And I've got this one, but I lost the stand for it, so... Oh, I have an Inosuke. Oh, I didn't realise I had Inosuke. Yeah, got this one. I've got this one. Oh no, Inosuke's arms. Well, here's an armless Inosuke. I've also got my favourite. Oh my gosh. How many times am I going to say, oh my gosh? I've got my favourite. Here's my favourite. Okay, now Inosuke has both his arms. Yay! But yeah, so I have been like, I knew I loved Zenitsu for a reason, basically. I actually really liked him because he was like a lover boy. So I had like a soft spot for him. But obviously he's hella strong too. And to be fair, because Thor's obviously like one of my favourite Avengers, it's kind of the same thing as Zenitsu because it's like wielding lightning. Maybe that was unintentional. I went to London the other day with my sister and she managed to find a Tanjiro like keychain. So she was trying to find a Zenitsu one for me, but she couldn't. But she got me this pin. That's cute. But yeah, anyway. I don't know where I was. Sorry, I went on a tangent for a few things as well. Okay. Anyway, all of that was to say, love him. I also loved, I don't know why I keep forgetting all of the characters' names. Akaza, dude. He's also a certified lover boy. I don't care. He's a demon, whatever. Certified lover boy. And, oh, it was actually such a sad, like, arc for him. Obviously, I know Demon Slayer does that anyway. Like, they'll give a backstory for the specific demon and you kind of end up almost feeling bad for them, or like it just brings context as to why they're so angry. It doesn't make it okay that they kill people, but it just brings context. Oh, but it's so cute. And the whole firework thing, oh my days. Lover boy. Anyway, the guy that Giyu, is it Giyu? He fought Akaza with Tanjiro. I'm pretty sure Giyu. He's sick. To be fair, all the Hashira, although the butterfly one, not gonna lie, her dying wasn't that deep. But my sister was telling me that apparently her plan was that she was injecting herself throughout the battle with that demon. So, because she knew she was going to be ingested by him. So that he would obviously weaken when the next girl came. And apparently, well, because we all noticed that there was like a hand gesture that she made as she was being ingested to the other girl. But none of us like obviously knew what that meant. But apparently that was her saying, I did it. Give it some time. He'll be weak and then you can attack. But I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But we'll see. Right. Let's get back to this because I haven't actually done any... Wait, did I say... I told you I was going to the gym, didn't I? I'll do activities today, by the way. But I'm going to go gym first and then I'll do it then. Yeah, I'll do that. Anyway, it just carried on giving like examples of people who would sacrifice themselves or like their needs for others. A man who works in a busy office may crave and need the retreat of solitude. Nothing would serve him better than a vacation alone, but he thinks that's selfish, so he doesn't do it. It wouldn't be nice to his wife. A woman with 2 children wants to take a pottery class. It conflicts with some of her son's little league practices, and she wouldn't be able to attend as a faithful audience. She cancels pottery and plays the good mother, seething on the sidelines with resentments. A young father with a serious interest in photography yearns for a place in the home to pursue his interest. The installation of a modest family darkroom would require dipping into savings and deferring the purchase of a new couch. The darkroom doesn't get set up, but the new couch does. Many recovering creatives sabotage themselves, most frequently by making nice. This is a tremendous cost to such ersatz virtue. I don't know what ersatz means. Means substitute, used as an adjective to describe an artificial or inferior substitute. There's a tremendous cost to such, to choosing the lesser option to you. It might be not the lesser option to somebody else, but for you, because you want to do something else or get something else, Many of us have made a virtue out of deprivation. We have embraced a long-suffering artistic anorexia as a martyr's cross. We have used it to feed a false sense of spirituality grounded in being good, meaning superior. That's why sometimes I really question myself as am I just being fake? Am I just really actually deep down, am I just a really, really selfish person? And I'm just projecting this selfless or this giving and good person, which I'm not all the time, by the way, but am I trying to portray that kind of version of myself because I know it will be received well by others? Because I don't know, sometimes I'm just am I just really just am I just a reflection of everyone else's needs, basically? The writer then says, I call this seductive faux spirituality the virtue trap. Because also, I was going to say, doing those things as well for the good of God and for God's approval and blessings, or I say that I do that for God, is that what they're trying to get at, basically? Because it's faux spirituality, so it's a false sense of being spiritual, basically. Spirituality is often being misused as a route to an unloving solitude, a stance where we proclaim ourselves above our human nature. This spiritual superiority is really only one more form of denial. For an artist, virtue can be deadly. The urge toward respectability and maturity can be stultifying, even fatal. We strive to be good, to be nice, to be helpful, to be unselfish. We want to be generous, of service of this world. But what we really want is to be left alone, which I can relate to a lot. When we can't get others to leave us alone, we eventually abandon ourselves. To others, we may look like we're there, we may act like we're there, but our true self has gone to the ground, which is quite sad, obviously. What is left is a shell of our whole self. It stays because it is caught. It's like a listless circus animal prodded into performing. It does its tricks. It goes through its routine. It earns its applause. But all of the hoopla falls on deaf ears. We are dead to it. Our artist is not merely out of sorts. Our artist has checked out. Our life is now an out-of-body experience. We're gone. A clinician might call it disassociating. I call it leaving the scene of a crime. I dissociate a lot, or I used to dissociate a lot. I keep saying a lot. It's from a movie, The Parent Trap. I don't know why I keep saying it now, but whatever. Afraid to appear selfish, we lose ourselves, we become self-destructive, because this self-murder is something we seek passively rather than consciously act out. We are often blind to its poisonous grip on us. The question, are you self-destructive, is asked so frequently that we seldom hear it accurately. What it means is, are you destructive of yourself? And what that really asks us is, are you destructive of your true nature? Many people caught in the virtue trap do not appear to be self-destructive to the casual eye. Bent on being good husbands, fathers, mothers, wives, teachers, whatevers, they have constructed a false self that looks good to the world and meets with a lot of worldly approval. This false self is always patient, always willing to defer its needs to meet the needs and demands of another. In brackets, they said, what a great guy. That Fred gave up his concert tickets to help me move on a Friday night. Virtuous to a fault, These trapped creatives have destroyed the true self, the self that didn't meet with much approval as a child, the self who heard repeatedly, "Don't be selfish." The true self is a disturbing character, healthy and occasionally anarchistic, who knows how to play, how to say no to others, and say yes to itself. Creatives who are caught in the virtue trap still cannot let themselves approve of this true self. They cannot show it to the world without dreading the world's continued disapproval. In brackets, can you believe it? Fred used to be such a nice guy, always ready to help me out, anytime, any place. I asked him to help me move last week, and he said he was going to a play. When did Fred get so cultured, I ask. Fred knows full well that if he stops being so nice, fabulous Fred, his outsized, nice guy, alter ego will bite the dust. Martyred Mary knows the same thing, as she agrees to round 5 of babysitting for her sister so she can go out. Saying no to her sister would be saying yes to herself, and that is a responsibility that Mary just can't handle. Free on a Friday night, what would she do with herself? That's a good question, and one of many that Mary and Fred use their virtue to ignore. We listen to other people's ideas of what is self-destructive without ever looking at whether their self or our self have similar needs. Caught in the virtue trap, we refuse to ask ourselves, what are my needs? What would I do if it weren't too selfish? Are you self-destructive? This is a very difficult question to answer. To begin with, it requires that we know something of our true self, and that is the very self that we have been systematically destroying. One quick way to ascertain the degree of drift is to ask yourself this question: what would I try if it weren't too crazy? And then they give a list of things that they would have done. If your list looks pretty exciting, even if crazy, then you are on the right track. These crazy notions are actually voices from our true self. What would I do if it weren't too selfish? And then it's stuff that linked to the activities that they wrote before. By seeking the creator within and embracing our own gift with creativity, we learn to be spiritual in this world, to trust that God is good, and so are we, and so is all of creation. And in this way, we avoid the virtue trap. I didn't ask myself these questions, but I think it might be quite cool to do that when I sit down and do the activities later. There also is a virtue trap quiz on here. It's 10 questions. I'll just read out a couple of them. It's just finish the sentence. So the biggest lack in my life is, the greatest joy in my life is, I worry that if my dreams come true, my family will. One reason I get sad sometimes is, and then it follows with, does your life serve you or only others? Are you self-destructive? And then it moves on to an exercise, which again I haven't done, but I will do later. But forbidden joys. One of the favoured tricks of blocked creators is saying no to ourselves. It is astonishing the number of small ways we discover to be mean and miserly with ourselves. When I say this to my students, they often protest that this isn't true, that they are good to themselves. Then I ask them to do this exercise. List 10 things you love and would love to do but are not allowed to do. Your list might look like this, and then they obviously put on the whole thing. Very often, the mere act of writing out your list of forbidden joys breaks down the barriers of doing them. Post your list somewhere highly visible. So yeah, I think I'll do that one. And then it moves on to a wish list. So it's a list of 20. And again, it's just finishing the sentence. I wish 20 times. And then the last one, it says, I most especially wish. So I'll give it a go later. Now, moving on to the actual activities. There are 10 in total. For the first one, it starts off with this sentence. The reason I can't really believe in a supportive God is, and you have to list 5 grievances. I think that might be quite good to do, actually. I would feel bad, but... Number 2, starting an image file. If I had either faith or money, I would try an image file. Oh, okay, like a Pinterest page, basically. List 5 desires. For the next week, be alert for images of these desires. When you spot them, clip them, buy them, photograph them, draw them, collect them somehow. With these images, begin a file of dreams that speak to you, and add to it continually for the duration of the course. I like the idea of it, but it just sounds like it's a lot of work, and it sounds like it's a lot of consistent work as well. And the problem with me is I forget so much so quick. So yeah, I think it'll be difficult for me to keep that one up, but I'll mark it anyways because I do like it. Number 3, one more time, list 5 imaginary lives. Have they changed? Are you doing more parts of them? You may want to add images of these lives to your image file as well. That's not bad. Number 4, if I were 20 and I had money, list 5 adventures. Again, add images to the visual image file. I like that one. Number 5, if I was 65 and had money, list 5 postponed pleasures. And again, collect these images. This is a very potent tool. I now live in a house that I imaged for 10 years. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm less like up for doing that one, but I'll make a note. Number 6, 10 ways that I'm mean to myself are, and then just like ... Just as making the positive explicit helps us allow it into our lives, making the negative explicit helps us to exercise it. Okay. Number 7, 10 items I would like to own that I don't are, and again, you may want to collect these images. Less inclined, but happy to do. Number 8, honestly, my favorite creative block is ... TV, overreading, friends, work, rescuing others, exercise, you name it. Whether you can draw it or not, please cartoon yourself indulging it. I think I know what the answer is to that one. Number 9, my payoff for staying blocked is, and this you may want to explore in your morning pages. I don't really care about that one that much. Number 10, the person I blamed for being blocked is, again, use your pages to mull on this. I mean, I blame myself. I don't think it's anyone else's fault. It's my own doing. And I have to take responsibility of that. Of course, I also know there's an element of like, if you're being raised a certain way, is it really your own fault? But I don't think it helps anyone if I'm just blaming others when it's myself that needs to change, if that makes sense. Well, not so much change, but just learn and grow. Change, that works. Guys, I don't know what I'm saying. I never know. Oh my god, I've recorded an hour's worth of footage, by the way. I'll probably cut it down, but that's crazy. I was meant to go to the gym ages ago. The heck? Oh, Kai looks cute. Okay, well, that's that. I'm gonna go. I'll go gym now, and then I'll come back and crack on with this stuff. And then I will record again. I'm not gonna lie, I actually didn't tell you what the date was. It's Monday. It's been a week, I think, since I recorded that video. And I've obviously not done everything, but it's fine. I'm getting through it. It just might not be every week. That's the problem. But if that's the only problem and I'm still getting through it, I'll take it. I will take it. But yeah, morning pages need to start again. So inshallah, tomorrow morning I will start. I'm obviously like, I need to just not go straight on my phone again. Go back to what I was being like in the first couple of weeks. That was good. And then, yeah, keep that up, basically. But yeah, so, all good stuff. And like I said, the things that are in this chapter, I think, are coming at a very good time for me. And I can obviously relate to it a lot. So, yeah. Let's see. Hopefully, it does some good. But yeah. I will see you guys when I see you guys. Or no, I don't actually see you. You will see me when you see me. Goodbye.